have returned. Hello, everyone. I am Onii-chan, your host, and you're all my emotos, whether you like it or not. You see that? You see how I'm starting to do my little intros for my YouTube channel? Is it not professional and well done of me? Okay, so next video I saw the name of it. I'm like, all right, this looks goofy. I'm interested in learning about medieval torturers. That's probably cool, right? They probably lived some interesting lives, met some interesting people, did some neat stuff. Who knows? Maybe like killing people for a living was a cool thing. Maybe you were a cool guy for it. If you punished, I don't know, evildoers in your town and be like, yeah, I beheaded the apple stealer. Yeah, fuck that guy. All right, let's get on with this one. 3, 2, 1, whack.
You're born in 14th century Europe into what they call a cursed bloodline.
This art style is amazing.
Not enough to die young, not blessed enough to escape your fate. Just stuck in the middle of nowhere with the destiny even the devil begs to pass on.
Hikikomoris.
Spend your days praying for your soul before you even know you need saving. Your father, he's always gone, doing work that makes grown men wet themselves with fear. Then
I'm afraid for what that tool is for.
Congratulations.
That looks like a stretching tool of some sort.
But surviving childhood might be the worst thing that ever happens to you. But
hell yeah.
Before you start
just like me.
Whispers. People don't just avoid your house. They make the sign of the cross when they walk past it. Your mother never takes you to the market, never lets you play with other kids. She says it's because of wild animals. You're starting to think the real animals walk on 2 legs and throw rocks at your windows. Then one day, curiosity kills more than just a cat. You sneak out to the village square and see a crowd gathered around a wooden platform. They're screaming, begging, the smell of blood and fear. And there, holding a strange metal device, is a man in a dark hood. The crowd...
He's just a clocketeer. Look at him. I know executions were like public events, right? A lot of people would gather to see what's going on or who's being slain this day. Were torture things also public? I've only ever seen those be like, oh yeah, we're in this dark, spoopy place, hidden underground somewhere, and we're gonna put you through the ringer, like in Berserk, or oh my god, what's the thing they have in Princess Bride, where they're just like out like buried in a tree somewhere. Yeah, I'd like to look that up to see if they actually had public displays of people being tortured. I would assume they had like floggings or like whippings and stuff, right? If you want to count that, but not like hook this man up to the stretching cube.
Parts when he walks by, some spitting, others just staring in horror. That's when you see it. Your father's face under that hood. How
do you see that though?
Your father
What's under a hood?
Down, pulls off his gloves. His hands are scarred and stained, and tells you the truth that'll haunt every
Your gloves suck then. What the fuck?
Your father is a torturer. When someone steals bread, speaks against the Lord, or looks at a priest wrong, they bring him to your father. His job? To hurt them until they confess to things they might not have even done. But wait, it gets worse. See, nobody applies for this job.
No.
Nobody wakes up thinking, gee, I'd love to spend my life breaking people's fingers for a living. Which means there's only one way people become tortured.
I feel like there's a couple people out there who would be awesome to that.
Grandfather
they'd love that.
His father before him. And his father's father? You guessed it. This isn't just some family business. It's a family curse.
All right, how far back would that go, right? I know we've been torturing people forever, but to make it like a lineage, how many like generations back did somebody just say, okay, guy, you there, you're the one we're going to choose to stretch this man's asshole out of like beyond human limits, right? We're going to have like, we're going to make like a goatsy blush with how bad this is going to be kind of thing. But yeah, where did this start of just like you put the hood on, put the gloves on, and get to go to town on this man, and now your lineage is cursed to do this forever?
And guess what?
It's probably some rich people, right?
You had dreams once, maybe becoming a farmer, growing things instead of destroying them, maybe a merchant, traveling to far-off places where nobody knows your name, maybe even a priest, saving souls instead of damning your own. But none of that matters now. The city won't let you do anything else. You're marked, branded, cursed from birth to follow in daddy's bloody footsteps.
Cool.
Stage 8. Training begins.
It's kind of metal.
And by training, I mean learning how to clean up after human suffering. You start by sharpening the tools. Pliers for pulling teeth. Screws for crushing thumbs. Ropes for the strappado. Each tool has a purpose. Each purpose.
I love shibari.
Before you can touch human flesh, your father tosses you a pile of animal bones. Pig femurs, goat ribs, cow skulls. Break them clean, he commands.
Break them.
Understand how muscles, sinew, and bone react under strain. You spend weeks cracking livestock remains, learning the...
Okay, hear me out, what I'm about to say. That kind of sounds like a fun activity. That's something I think might be kind of cool. All right, so we're going to study the human body together. Here's a bunch of shit from animals, and you're going to figure out how this stuff works, right? That sounds kind of fun to me. Here's a little hammer, and here's your pliers and whatnot. Make them crack and break in the cleanest way possible. Right? Yeah, I mean, it's a family, like, fun activity. I'd try it. Maybe it's, like, no different than getting those balls of owl puke and finding the little mice inside of it. Which, I fucked up one time. I remember I had one of those, and I took it, and I put it in this little tinfoil bag thingy, and I put it in my hoodie pocket. And one day I forgot that it was in my hoodie pocket, and I put that into my washer. And I don't know if you know what it's like to have a washer full of mouse bones, but it's not a great experience.
Precise pressure needed to shatter without killing. The stench of rotting meat clings to your clothes as you master this grotesque craft on dead animals first. You learn to oil the rack so it doesn't squeak when it stretches people apart. You clean blood off stone floors until your hands are raw, scrubbing with buckets of vinegar. The only thing that cuts through the overwhelming reek of sweat.
Oh my God, I cannot stand the smell of vinegar. So, I don't know if anyone else has the thing where it's like, oh yeah, your grandma or your mom has this one household item where they swear works on everything and they've used it forever. My grandma's thing was vinegar. She would clean everything with vinegar. She would make me get a sponge and a towel and put a bunch of vinegar on it and then soap things down first and then scrub everything with vinegar, like the sinks and the stove and all that, and then wash it again. And the whole house smelled like it and I smelled like it. And that taught me to hate that smell. I am disgusted by the smell of vinegar now.
Feces, blood, and decomposing flesh that clings to dungeon stones. The acidic smell burns your nostrils, but it's better than the alternative stench of human despair. The smell never leaves your clothes. Iron, blood, fear, sweat, and something else you can't name, but makes your stomach turn.
Just like my hentais.
Your mother tries washing your clothes 3 times, but that smell, it's not coming out, ever. Month 9, your father decides you're ready to watch. A man is brought in, accused of stealing grain during harvest.
Yeah, fuck you.
Lying, begging, swearing on his mother's grave that he's innocent.
Don't steal the grain, boy.
Innocent or guilty, your father's job is to make the man confess. That's what the law wants, confession. Your father starts with the thumb screws, small metal devices that look harmless until they start crushing bone. The man screams are so loud you think your ears might bleed. You want to look away, but your father's watching you, making sure you don't flinch.
Don't you dare look away, boy.
This is what you'll do every day for the rest of your life. The man confesses after his third finger breaks. He admits to stealing grain he never stole. Names people who don't exist, just to make the pain stop. Another successful day at the office. You're 12 now, and the real...
I like the idea of like, oh, you're 12 now. Made 1,000 people suffer, boy. I need to look some of this up, because I don't know if this is just cool story stuff, or if any of this is true. Because I've also seen things about executioners where they were also respected members of the community. They were all like big religious people, and they were well known and liked by a lot of people. So I don't know if maybe this is a different culture or some other place, like European bullshit. But yeah, there's some things I know that this in a way is contradictory towards. I would like to figure out, okay, which one of these is real? I'm not saying this gentleman or this person is wrong or what they're telling me is a lie or anything. I'm just interested to know, like, okay, what are the sources from these? Because there's a lot of stories, things being told to me, and I'm not really getting any sources out of it or anything that's like, yeah, here's some doctrine or some shit.
Education begins. Your father hands you the pliers and points to a prisoner's mouth. Start with the back teeth, he says casually. They're easier to grip. You hesitate.
Are they?
The prisoner looks at you with desperate eyes. Your father's hand lands on your shoulder.
Let's test that. Hold on.
Warning. You do it now, or I do it to you later.
So if I were to stick my hand in my mouth, is that, no, it has to be with pliers, right? Is that easier to, hold on. Yeah, I guess it is easier to grip. Okay. There's a lot more space there because, like, you know, your teeth are like flatter at the front, right? No, they're pliers. Shouldn't they just be able to like hinge that shit out of your mouth? Also, I need to wash my hand off. Give me a second. I'm all gross now. I'm like, boy, if you don't rip that man's teeth out, I'm gonna rip yours out. Imagine like growing up with like your dad being the executioner, and he knows how to make you like do shit that he wants, like down to like the microbe of your body. Telling like, you know, those like dad things of go get the sticks from the yard and break them into this kind of specific size for no reason, and then dump them over here. And then he can see like you didn't do the sticks, and he's like, I'm gonna show you what happens when I break your bones like the sticks, boy.
Later, he whispers. But there's more to fear than just his wrath. Cross the church, harm the wrong noble, or let a prisoner die before confession, and they'll burn us both alive, he adds grimly. You've heard the stories. Torturers who disobeyed orders or showed unauthorized cruelty found themselves on the same pyres they once prepared for heretics.
I'd like to look that up. That sounds interesting.
Forever. Your hands shake. The prisoner passes out from the pain before you're halfway done. Your father shakes his head. Sloppy work. We'll practice until you get it right. And you do practice on prisoner after prisoner until pulling teeth
That's
becomes
unfortunate.
as natural as brushing your own. Age 15 brings anatomy lessons. You learn where to cut for maximum pain without killing. How long someone...
What's the 100 like blade technique or whatever it is, where there's a bunch of parts on your body that can be carved out, and then there's like 100 like there's like 100 spots or some crap like that, and they can be carved out without it killing you, but it causes you a ton of pain because it just keeps you alive. Like it doesn't hit a bunch of maybe arteries or any like important places like that. They thought there was a method for something in that way.
can hang before their shoulders pop out. How many turns of the rack it takes to make someone beg. You discover that fear is often more effective than pain. Sometimes just showing someone the tools makes them talk. The human imagination fills in all the terrible ideas you don't even have to mention. Your father introduces you to the Iron Maiden, a human-shaped metal...
I thought Iron Maidens were like
with
actually
inward-facing
real.
spikes. Each spike pierces limbs, shoulders, thighs, never vital organs.
Am I wrong in thinking Iron Maidens were like actually a thing?
The art is in prolonged suffering, not swift death. You learn to operate it with surgical precision, knowing exactly
I thought
which spikes to engage for different types of confessions. By 17, you're ready for the rack. The
rack.
Torture devices. Wooden
I'd like
frame
a good
that
rack.
stretches people like clay. Listen to their breathing, your father explains. When it gets ragged, ease off. When they start talking, tighten more. Keep them right on the edge between confessing and...
You're edging them?
Your first solo lesson comes at 18. A woman accused of being a witch because her neighbor's cow died. You start gentle, just showing her the tools. She denies everything.
Imagine. Imagine getting the fucking raw deal of, yeah, my neighbor's cow died. What could have happened here? Oh, the woman down the street. It must have been her and her magic powers, her cow killing powers. It's that lady there. Man, what a time it must have been to be alive. Just believing whatever bullshit you have available to you. Just this evil witch magic, this cow killing witch magic. I actually learned a lot about the Blair Witch trials and whatnot in school, and like a bunch of other things where people are accused of being witches. And there's a lot of stories that came out of, yeah, I just didn't like that person, so I'm accusing them of being a witch, and you know, the bottom of the lake with you, and if you float, get fucked, I guess. I'd like to see more records of that to see where it's like, okay, we're gonna accuse you of some kind of magical nonsense and then send you to the thing. Or it's like, I'm torturing you. Why aren't you using your magical powers? Why aren't you doing your magical girl transformation for me and turning into a witch? And you think it would come out eventually, right? But no, I guess not. By the way, Blair Witch from Soul Eater, good waifu. Just reminds me of her.
But before you can proceed, you're accused of showing unauthorized mercy. The church demands proof of your divine sanction. You're forced to undergo trial by ordeal, plunging your hand into boiling oil to prove your methods are blessed by God. The searing agony reminds you that even torturers aren't above suspicion. When your wounds heal cleanly, you're deemed worthy to continue.
I actually saw another version of this where it wasn't oil. It was they take boiling water and they put a stone in it. And you're supposed to reach your hand in and grab the stone for a certain amount of time. And it was just like they said, if your wounds heal cleanly and you don't get like disgusting boils and stuff like that, you were considered like good. The one I saw was more in reference to prisoners. I don't think I saw them in reference to torturers, but yeah, they were for prisoners where, like I said, you just grab the stone and see if you were righteous or not, or whatever, if ordained.
Screws still denying. Then you hang her by her arms for an hour. Finally, you mention her children. Shame they had to be questioned too. Kids
Damn,
are
feels
so
bad.
fragile. She confesses within minutes, admits to flying on broomsticks, dancing with the devil, cursing crops. All lies, but effective lies. The crowd that watches her burn cheers your success. You feel sick. Years pass.
What do you think that smells
You get
like?
good at your job. Disturbingly good.
Just burning the witch.
Spreads.
Does it have a
They
cool
call
smell
it
to it, or is
homebrew.
it like
You
gross?
perfect new techniques. Keep detailed notes like any craftsman. Subject lasted 47 minutes before confession. Recommend different approach next time. But
Damn, whole
success
47
comes
minutes.
with a price. Nobody talks to you except to hire your services. Kids run when they see
Just like me.
you sit with normal people. You're necessary, unwanted, useful, but unclean. You live alone.
Also like me.
Your only companions are screams that echo in your head. You drink heavily, but alcohol doesn't wash away the memories. Women won't marry you, so you find companionship with someone as hated as you are. A brothel worker who understands what it's like to be society's necessary.
What is this turning into?
20 years of
What is
torture
this fan
later, You're
fiction?
the most feared man in 3 counties. Your name makes criminals weep. You've extracted
Wait,
thousands of
hold on.
confessions, sent hundreds.
What happened to the
of
lineage thing? What do you mean nobody will marry you?
when your job is inflicting misery? Every night brings nightmares. Faces of people you've
I thought you had a lineage,
voices
like
begging for mercy.
passed down. You have to pass it
Wake
down,
up
right?
Screaming more often than your victims did. Your wife gives birth to twin
Oh
boys.
yeah, there you go.
For the first time in years, you
I thought you said no one would marry you.
even
What?
they can escape this life. But hope is luxury torturers can't afford. Your hands start shaking at 40. Years of gripping tools takes its toll. One day, you miscalculate. A prisoner dies before confessing. The
Feels
judge
bad.
is furious. Your reputation takes a hit. More mistakes follow. Word spreads that the great bone breaker is losing his touch. There's only one solution.
Call it the
You
bone
hate
breaker.
it more than anything. You take your eldest son aside on his 13th birthday. This is our family trade, you tell him, watching his face crumble. I didn't choose it. My father didn't choose it, and neither will you. But if you're going to survive, you need to be better than I ever was.
I wonder what that feeling is like just as a kid of just like, okay, kid, listen up. So this is what you're going to do from now on. You know, those other kids out there, they're playing their stickball. Or no, what's that thing where it's like a big hoop and they whack it with a stick to roll it around places? Or is that after this period of time? Whatever, right? And just, okay, so what we're going to do now from today forward is we're going to inflict pain onto people. And no matter how much you might think they're lying to get out of it, don't stop. It means you're doing a good job. Okay. I'm assuming that sucks, right? I'm assuming the feeling of being like a child suck, like doing that sucks. I don't know. This was also like the era in which like they were thought girls were cool enough to marry off and have children, like a dozen children by the time they were 13, right? So maybe it was just like expected that they were super mature enough to handle it. It's okay.
He cries. He begs. He tries to run away, but 3 days later, he's back, hungry and defeated. There's nowhere to run. The family curse follows you wherever you go. So you begin his training.
The family
Just as your
stink.
father trained you.
He's gonna have the smell.
The same death of innocence you felt all those years ago. The cycle continues. Your son learns the trade, masters the techniques, earns his own reputation. You retire to a corner of the house, hands too shaky to work. But retirement isn't freedom. It's just a different prison. You listen to screams from below, knowing your son is continuing the family.
Wait, do you live like...
Every cry reminds you this is your legacy.
Wait, do you live over the torture chamber? Like how some people like own a bar and they have an apartment above it? Do you not just go to work like somewhere across town? I need to look this stuff up. I need to know. Is it like Cheers where you're just kind of like living there?
The curse you pass to another generation. You die at 52, which is old for someone in your profession. Most torturers don't live to see grandchildren. The stress, the drinking, the constant fear of revenge kills them young. But you've been lucky. If you can.
I never thought about the constant fear of revenge.
But even in your final years, there's no peace. Torturers are feared even in retirement. Villagers believe you're cursed, damned by
Well,
your
you have
bloody
the stink.
trade. When your active service
You got
ends,
the
you're
torture
quietly
stink, right?
exiled to
Everybody
remote
knows.
regions. Society's way of erasing the shame you represent. Few torturers receive pensions or land. Most are relocated far from civilization, or executed in secret to prevent their dark knowledge from spreading. Your sons bury you in the torturer's corner of the graveyard, far from decent folk.
The torturer's corner?
The priest says prayers over your grave. No mourners come to pay respect.
They have a corner just for you?
Carrying on a tradition that's destroyed every generation for centuries. But at least it's over for you. The nightmares stop. The guilt ends. The screams finally fade to silence. You've paid your debt to a world that needed someone to do its dirty work, even if it hated you for doing it. Your sons, though, their story is just beginning. And somewhere in town, a 4-year-old boy is starting to wonder why people cross themselves when his family walks by.
Damn. That was a neat video. A lot of cool little stuff going on in that one. Yeah, learning about executioners is interesting. Man, there's just periods of time where people are like, yeah, go fuck that dude up, I guess. I'm the king. What are you gonna do? Tell me no? Or I'm the church. What are you gonna do? Tell me no? Like double time? You telling God no, too. Yeah, go torture that man, please. That was interesting. That was a neat video. Yeah, that was a... Oh, boy. I'm trying to think of, like, just taking a child and being like, okay, boy, you're going to take these pliers and you're going to rip this guy's asshole a new one. I'm going to show you how to use the stretch tool. It's like teaching him like it's Photoshop or something. You're like, here's all the little tools and how you apply them. No, that was a neat video. Good on them. It was just cute. That was by Lost Legacy. If you're interested in that, please go give them a follow. It'd be greatly appreciated. Oh, hold on.